right. What's going on, guys? What's going on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to another live stream, a little Ask Me Anything. And the topic, at least for the start of this live stream, is going to be, is physical therapy worth it? Because we have two things coming up for anybody interested in knowing the answer to that question. If you've had a question like, is PT worth it? Should I do physical therapy? Should I do PTA instead? How do I make it worth it? Can I work in physical therapy school? How do loans work? How do scholarships work? How do I pay for PT school? Can I make enough money as a physical therapist? We have two solutions coming up for you guys very, very soon. The first one is that link right there, moneyinclasstraining.com. We are having a class all about the money stuff, all around PT, from side hustles to scholarships to how you should think differently to how you pay for it, all of it, because we know a certain big section of you guys have this pertinent money question. So if that's you, go to moneyinclasstraining.com. If you're on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or whatever, you see it right there. And we'll be talking all about it. So it'll be June 9th, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Then the second thing is we have a new podcast called the Anti-Broke Podcast. You can go to our link in bio or go to Cash and Clash University, or I'll put the link in the YouTube description to get on the wait list for it. But we have a podcast coming out in the next few days. So if you want to be on the wait list, just DM me wait list. If you want to be on the wait list for the Anti-Broke Podcast, just DM me wait list. That's the easiest thing to do. On Instagram is easier, and I'll send you the link to get on the wait list to be the first to know when it drops. It'll be in the next few days. So that's the big things we got coming up. And other than that, we're just chilling out on, what's today, Thursday? On a Thursday night, to answer any questions you guys got, preferably about money stuff, but anything goes, as always, to help you guys out the most. Let's see. How's Instagram going here? Whoa, Instagram. 18 people on Instagram. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, that's what's up. Hope Instagram is doing well. What's up, guys? I guess I got to go live on Thursday night a little more often. Cool. Let's see. Where should I start? Let's see what TikTok got here. Let's see if YouTube's got anything, then we'll get started. All right, cool. I'm gonna start with YouTube, then I'll go to Instagram, then I'll go to TikTok, since Instagram is popping. 22 on Instagram. What is going on? But what's up? Glad you guys are here. All right, cool. First question from Michael. With brutal honesty, would you recommend that I go to PTA school or PT school, considering a lot of PTAs end up wanting to go back to PT school? All right. So if you want to be a physical therapist, be a physical therapist. That's it. That's it. There's no reason for you pit stopping at becoming a PTA. If you want to be a PTA, then by all means be one, but it does not sound like that's what you're saying based on your question. It sounds like you're just asking which one you should do. And it sounds like because you're asking that, you want to be a PT anyway. So just go the PT route. It's no reason to take a pit stop for you specifically on how I'm trying to read through your question there. So hope that helps for you specifically. I just go straight for PT. All right, Instagram. Let's see what's going on, since it was a lot of y'all on here. All right. Is it a good idea to do home health right out of PT school? I don't see a problem with it. I don't see a problem with it. A lot of people are going to say you're going to be on your own. You need more time to get to know patients. You need more confidence with documentation, all that stuff, right? And that's valid. I get it. However, you paid money for this degree, and it's your time. And it's the money that you want to make for yourself and your future is what's most important. So if you want to do home health right out of PT school, forget what everybody else is saying. You do home health right out of PT school, because they're not the ones paying your bills. They're not the one who paid for your PT school or took out the loans for it. So yeah, you can consider what they're saying and why they're saying not to possibly do it. But at the end of the day, it's your bills and it's your money and it's your loans and what you want to do with your own life. So if you want to do a home health right out of school, by all means do it. There's pros and cons to doing it, but there's pros and cons to everything. Just like there's pros and cons to doing outpatient right out of school, or doing pediatrics, or trying to go the sports routes. It doesn't matter. So you can do home health if you want, 100%. Med sales versus PT. What's your thoughts? I'm not familiar with med sales at all. Of course, I know what it is, but I'm not familiar with it enough to give you an answer on med sales. But what I do is um, get more information about both because you're in between both right now because you don't know enough about either. So once you know more about physical therapy and more about med sales, then you'll have a better grounded foundation for your answer on which one you want to do. But right now, you don't have enough information about either. So that's what I recommend doing. How do I go about talking to PTs about observation hours? You just ask. I recommend showing up in person to the hospital or the clinic and saying, "What's your policy? How does it work? How do I get started? Do you even offer them?" And they'll take it from there. But that's really it. That's really it. What are your thoughts on going out of state when looking into PT school? I have no problem with it. Just know out of state tuition is usually a little bit higher. So just be ready for that. Not always. Most of the time it is, but not always. So just keep that in mind. But if you want to go out of state, go out of state. Again, it's your money, it's your time, it's your career, it's your life. So if you want to go out of state, do it. Just be aware of what you're getting into. What is the PT acceptance rates across the US? On average per school, from what I've seen from the PTCast data, is 11 to 12% per school. So it varies a little bit up and down per school, but on average, about 400 to 600 applicants apply per school, and about 40-ish, 50-ish, somewhere in there, depending on the school, of course, and depending on how many people apply. The average percent of acceptance is 11 to 12% per school. Best way to ask for letters of recommendation. So, how I like to view this is put yourself in their shoes, right? So, let's just say there was an eighth grader who wanted to go to the high school you went to, right? They're like, "Hey, Jake, can you give me a letter of recommendation?" I'm sure you'd feel honored, right? I'm sure you'd say yes. Maybe you won't, but I'm sure you'd say yes. However, you'd also start thinking about all the other stuff you have to do, all the other responsibilities. You'd be like, "Yeah, I want to write their letter of recommendation, but I have PT school to apply for. I have these tests I got to get A's in. I got my girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. I got to travel. I got work. I got to sleep. I got to work out." And their letter of recommendation is the last thing on your list, if not the last thing. And that's how the other people are viewing you. The physical therapists or professors are viewing you. So you have to make it as easy as possible for them and explain to them why you're choosing them. Out of all the PTs, all the professors, all the employers, why are you choosing them to ask for a letter of recommendation? And number two, how can you make it as easy for them as possible to get the best letter in the least amount of time and the least amount of effort on their part? So that's the best way to ask. Be like, "Hey, I'm choosing you because of X, Y, and Z. And this is how I'm going to make your life as easy as possible to get this letter of recommendation done so you don't have to worry about it." That's how I do it. Can you do much more with a sports PT certification? Can you do much more? I guess I understand what you're asking. Um, Not really. Not really. Can you do much more with a PT certification? I'm guessing you're asking, can you work with a sports team if you get a PT certification? Yes and no, but the sports team isn't going to hire you just because you have a PT certification. They're going to hire you because you know all their friends and their friends recommended you, whether you have a sports PT certification or not. It's not the certification, it's who you know. So that's what's more important. PT or chiro? I'm about to finish college. I don't know. I'm not a chiropractor, so I don't know. But you need to make a list of the pros and cons of PT and the pros and cons of chiropractor and just learn more information about both. So you choose the best one for you. I can talk all day and night about PT. Chiro, I can talk a little bit, but I won't do it justice. So you just need more information. Then your answer will become more clear. I have an account with, hey, what's up, Jazzy? You're in the application workshop. Yeah. I have an account with PTCast from last cycle. Do you know how to change it to the next cycle? Yeah, you'll just have to wait a few weeks. Yeah, till June 15th, then you'll be able to carry stuff forward. Jazzy, we'll talk about that in the application workshop next week, but you don't have to do anything right now. It'll ask you when the new cycle opens, it'll ask you if you want to carry your stuff forward. So you're good right now. Don't worry about anything too much. Yeah, we'll take care of that on the application workshop. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna skip to TikTok. Let me check on YouTube right now. Okay, TikTok. Let's go to your questions real quick. Let's see what's up with TikTok here. All right. TikTok, what's up? What's up? If you're struggling with A&P at a university and you retake it at a community college and transfer it, will PTs accept it? Yes, they will. Yeah, you can take classes at a community college. No problem. First day of PT school is on Tuesday. Currently studying your slides for the first lecture. Cool. Hope you enjoy PT school. Have fun. Seminar was great. Good stuff. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, Brianna, go to sleep. It's 10:17 there. Yeah, you can go to sleep. How often do I take vitals? If I see something that's like a glaring problem, like right off the bat, and like I'm like, okay, they're clearly short of breath, or they tell me they like there's a big red flag in their history, or not even a big red flag, but there's something I pick up on, like maybe I should take their blood pressure, or maybe I should take their pulse ox, or obviously if they're on like liters of oxygen, that's a big sign to do the vitals and stuff too. So probably about 50-ish% of the time, I definitely don't do it all the time like I should. But if it's something like flashing, I'm like, okay, it's pretty obvious to do it. Can I apply to PT school early if you don't have your observation hours? Yes, technically you could. You can apply to PT school early if you don't have those observation hours done, but you can only apply or safely apply if you don't have two prereqs done. I keep it at two. Is it possible if they choose me as an alternate in the PTA program for me to get in? So basically, you're asking if you're on the wait list for PTA school. Can you get in? Yes. It's possible. I don't know what their wait list looks like, but yes. Home health PT, what's up? Glad you like it. Glad you like it, Chelsea. Thanks for hopping on. What's the difference between a human kinetics and kinesiology major? Probably nothing. Honestly, probably nothing. I don't know because I'm not at your school, but probably nothing. Um, Watching you the last 2 years, going on your first clinical experience. Have fun. Oh, in 2 months. Have fun. Have fun. Tell all the pre-PTs you know about us. Glad we can help. I did not do an intern. I did do an internship. It was in pharmacy though. I did a pharmacy internship before I started undergrad. How do I conquer pathology and pharmacology? I use a lot of active recall techniques. That's what I did. Active recall study strategies. It's like a big umbrella term. There's a lot of strategies under it, but that's what I used. I just decided to go to school for PT. Any tips? Been 5 years since you've been in school. I So if you're going back to school to take your prereqs for physical therapy school, right? You're applying. I would learn how you best learn since you've been out the game for a little bit. I learn how you best learn. So morning time, afternoon, evening time, bright lit, public space, dimly lit, private space, super quiet, very busy and loud, somewhere in between. What study strategies do you like? Do you like pen and paper? Do you like, iPads or laptops? What do you like? How do you best learn? Is the best thing that I start with, so that when you learn all these different things for your prereqs, it'll be easier to grasp any information coming in. Yes, you can retake prereqs to get a better GPA. Absolutely. Does my state have direct access? Yes, they do have direct access, and yes, I do use it. Yes, so yes to both. Dismissed from your DPT program for being 0.04 below the GPA requirement. Let's see. I'm appealing it. I don't know if it'll work. Okay, cool. Yeah, it happens more often than you think. It definitely happens more often than you think. So you're not alone, but definitely try appealing it. 100%. Definitely try appealing it. We've been successful with one of our clients with appealing it, but yeah, definitely appeal it. Let's see. YouTube, what's going on here? I think we're good on YouTube. Oh no. We got another question here. If you're studying abroad, yes, you do need another exam. You need a whole bunch of paperwork. So if you're a physio not in the US and you want to work in the US, you need a whole bunch of paperwork to see how the classes line up or not. So yes, you'll need a bunch of stuff. All right, I think we're good. All right. Advice for starting PT school. Advice for starting PT school. What advice do you need? If you're still on Eric, let me know because there's a bunch of different ways I can take this. But what I say before starting is just live life, have fun, live life, make some money, go travel, go do some stuff. That's what I'd say first. Fill out observation hours for this cycle. Will they be deleted? No. Unless PTCast changes something this cycle, they should not be deleted. Pretty confident about that. They should not be deleted. There's only a few things that will be deleted, but observation hours should not be one of them. So you should be good. I would keep, like, if you have hard copies of your like signed observation hours forms, I'd keep them. Don't throw them away just in case, but you should be good. Took the GRE 2 years ago. Will it affect your chances? No. What score did you get? If you got a 300 or above, you'll be fine. But I don't know what score you got, so it depends. You start on Tuesday. Okay, cool. Darrell, what's up? What's up? Good to see you stopping in here. Tell everybody I said, what's up? Good to see you. Okay, so you're asking how to do well in anatomy in PT school. So active recall techniques, and you have to learn how you best learn. Because once you learn how you best learn, hopefully with active recall study strategies, then you can learn any anatomy question, any physiology question, any pediatrics question, anything they throw at you. It doesn't matter because you know, it's like, I'm not a pilot, but I'm gonna try to make this analogy, right? It's like flying a plane. If you know how to fly a plane, you know the mechanics of it, you can fly in any weather, right? It's the same thing with learning all this information. If you know how to study and learn information, you can learn any information. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Learn how you best learn. You don't need to study this specific anatomy book or watch this specific YouTube thing or study your lecture slides. You can if you want. Do what you want to do. But the best thing that I've seen is you have to learn how you best learn. Do PTAs do more physical interaction than DPTs? No, it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. What's up from the Philippines? Which schools do not offer the GRE? Do your program? Whoa. What schools do not offer the GRE? I don't know right off the top of my head. I have a list, and there's a list on PTCast. You can filter through PTCast, but I don't know right off the top of my head. Undergrad is taking forever. You can't imagine PT school yet. PT school is a lot. PT school is a lot. It becomes a blur. Definitely becomes a blur. All right. Cool. I think we're good. If you have any last questions, let me know. But again, we have our Money in Class training on June 9th. That's Sunday. We're going to be talking about all things money, from debt to income ratio, how to make money in school, is PT worth it, should you be a PTA versus PT, and all that in between. So if you're one of the people who are like, I have this question, I don't know if it's worth it, I'm trying to choose all these careers, how's the money thing work, how do loans work, how do I make money in school, after school, get the best paying job, start a side hustle or not, like how does all this money stuff work? I want to be a PT, but this thing about making it worth it is always on my mind, right? How does it work? Then go to moneyandclasstraining.com, sign up for it, and we'll be talking all about that then. Then we also have a podcast coming out in a few days called the Anti-Broke Podcast. DM me Anti-Broke on Instagram, and I'll send you the link for the waiting list for it. So those are the big two things we got coming up. And if you have any last questions, let me know before I jump off. Let's see. Oh, I think we're good. Your grandmother told you not to go to PT school because PTAs do more physical interaction. Okay. I'm guessing your grandmother has been to physical therapy and has worked more with a PTA versus a PT. And that's why she's telling you that. Understandable, right? However, physical therapists have just as much interaction with the patients than PTAs. It's the same. If you walked into a normal physical therapy clinic, nobody's really going to be able to tell the difference with who's a PT versus who's a PTA. The PTs aren't sitting up on a throne just typing for 10 hours a day while the PTAs hustle around and do all the work. That's not how it works. Everybody's working with patients on the tables. Everybody's on their laptops. Everybody's helping with therapeutic activity and exercise and all that stuff. Everybody's doing everything. So that's why my answer is the way it is. But that's possibly why your grandmother's answer was the way it was for her. Start PT school in summer. Any advice? Go live life. Go make some money. Go do what you want to do before PT school starts, because once it starts, you'll be wishing you did. So you don't need an anatomy book. You don't need an anatomy video. You don't need to study lectures. Go live. Go, go, go. Advice on how to write a great essay. You have to answer the prompt. So what many people miss about the essay to write a great essay is that they try and write a great essay, but they don't answer the prompt. And because they don't answer the prompt, they don't write a great essay how they want to. Because just think about how you guys read stuff. Y'all don't be reading all the, y'all get bored with stuff very easily, and they do too. They do as well. So just imagine you having to read 1,000 essays plus throughout the application cycle. You're going to get very frustrated or very bored very quickly, or try and skim to find what you need. And that's what's happening. So you have to answer the prompts clearly multiple times throughout the essay for your essay to be a standout essay. So don't forget to answer the prompt, answer the prompt, answer the prompt all the time throughout the essay. And that's what will help it stand out, to keep it simple. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Cool. All right. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Thanks for hopping on, and we will see you on the next live stream.